Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Saturday Boys, where every day is a Saturday. Come hang out with us as we chat about games, music, movies, and more, all over nice mixed drinks today. And yeah, I'm not drinking anything tonight. We went to AZW beforehand, and oh man, that flight killed me.
Oh man.
Oh me, oh my.
Oh man.
Oh, don't you know?
Don't you know? My name is Nick, and I'm joined by Anthony,
Hi.
Brandon,
Oh hey.
and Shane.
Oh, hey, guys.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Nice to be here.
So, what are you all drinking tonight?
We're drinking a White Russian with chocolate milk and salted caramel Kahlua, and it is just the bee's
So
knees. I
damn
tell
good.
you what.
It's ridiculous.
Tell you what. Some Hank Hill what?
That sound that you heard,
That's exactly
that
what it
like
is.
100 dB hum there, that's how I feel.
Oh, 100 to be like,
Oh, God.
I feel that as well.
Thanks for that.
we're still a little quiet, but say it.
Yeah. No, so it is, what all is it? It's chocolate yoo-hoo?
It's yup.
What other kind of yoo-hoo is there?
It's
Well-
not yoo-hoo, it's yup.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Yup.
Yoo-hoo is chocolate. This is
Well,
not
there's strawberry yoo-hoo, there's chocolate yoo-hoo.
This is chocolate, yup.
There's strawberry yoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But I think there's two to answer your other previous question.
It's called Stru.
Okay, solved.
And then just regular vodka.
Yeah, regular
Yeah,
Smirnoff.
Smirnoff,
Then, like I said, the salted caramel Kahlua, and then the yup.
Yep.
Yep.
Nice.
It's not Tito's, but it'll do.
That's
You and
true.
your Tito's.
Hey man,
Just to think of it, it could be even better than it is.
the
and you really
difference
like
was
it.
like $15, and we got like the
God.
same amount of booze.
Yeah, playing for that name brand stuff really comes out there.
What are you drinking on over there?
Since I kind of alcoholed myself out, I'm drinking, a standard Red Bull from...
Oh, he's got to have a pick me up.
Yeah, I gotta pick me up. Where the hell is Red Bull
Just a
from?
little 8-ouncer.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's Costco special, Santa Monica, California.
Ooh,
Red Bull. Yeah.
yummy.
It's how many I drink so many of these. I should know how much caffeine is in it.
like
80 milligrams in that
Yeah.
can, sir.
And an 8-ounce one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd wake me up, and then a bubbly because but none of you guys got any other drinks.
Mine's in the fridge.
Oh, for when you go for round two.
I don't need anything else.
Well, fine.
I do need a bubbly, but I just don't have any at home. I'm sorry.
Rest in peace. You guys are trugging that drink so fast. You're gonna have to go make a second one.
It's so good.
You have to vamp for a bit while you all go make a second.
Fucking
I hit my elbow, but I don't feel it because the drink is so good.
Mac and cheese with the chicken tenders.
You gonna be okay, Shane? Are we gonna make it through
I
this?
don't know what Shane's talking about, to be honest.
Mac and cheese and chicken tenders.
Well, I got that, but all right.
I have news.
Oh, moving to news. All right.
I has news.
What is
How's news? What is news
Boston's
for today?
famous skinny house sells for a nice fat price. 10-foot wide home sold for 1.25 billion.
Excuse me. What?
1.25 million. But I mean, look at that thing.
Was that the house that was made out of Defiance?
I don't know. This is my lightning round.
Looks like it was made out
I
of brick.
just have the first sentence of the article here.
You got you there.
But I remember this one story of a house that was like built in a very small space out of like Defiance. So, like the person who owned the land, they're like, oh, you're not going to do anything with it. You can't build anything. They're like, no, I'm going to build a house there. Built like a very small, super thin, long house.
Interesting.
Yeah, I heard if you take willpower and defiance, it's just as strong as a 2x4 or brick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You just have to mix the
Getting
two.
shit
I
on
know.
so hard.
I'm sorry, Nick. I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Person attacked right now. I don't know.
No, but yeah, no, here, I'll pull up the, it sold in August. It was built in 1862.
Oh, so it's an older
Jeez.
house. Damn.
It narrows down to 9 feet in the back. It goes from 10 feet down to 9 feet, like narrows. It has 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, has a private deck, view of Boston Harbor. It does not have a front door. Instead, you enter through the side door.
There's room for a side door.
Yeah, and it was last sold for $900,000 in
Holy
2017.
Damn.
I can't imagine why it goes for that much.
Because
Just it's around the
Boston.
Oh, okay. So there was a soldier that
Bastin.
joined the army,
Yes.
and then the other brother, when he returned, he built the skinny house to block his brother's view
Oh my God.
So was that a
sunlight.
spite?
and sunlight. Is to keep him shaded. And maybe spite.
and spite.
Nice.
Built a
Nice
house
little-
out of spite.
Dash of spite.
I used to know a guy from Baston.
Yeah, I hear if you mix in spite into the concrete.
It makes it even more durable
Right.
concrete.
And then the other article I had, I closed out of the window on accident.
Oh,
But I remember
fail.
what it was. It was a lawyer that was wearing a Michael Myers mask on a beach, and he got fucking like arrested for it.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
I
Wait.
didn't-
Was he doing anything, or just
They
because
were
he was
just
wearing
chilling on the beach with it.
So you can't wear Halloween masks during Halloween time?
I guess not.
That's
Not on the
unfortunate.
beach.
I'm curious what the charge was.
Yeah.
it? Just public disturbance, I guess. Like,
I,
people were like saying like they're bothered by it.
Disturbing the beach, maybe?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be on the podcast, so I don't have any news, but I do have a joke I heard.
Oh,
do it.
What's the difference between an enzyme and a hormone?
Oh, God.
Enzyme and a hormone.
Nothing?
No, I got
I
nothing.
feel like there's something there, but I can't get it right now.
Yeah, you can't hear an enzyme.
Oh!
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
I like that one.
Ouch.
That's good.
That's a good one.
Have I shown you all the Michael Myers fade?
Michael Myers fade?
Oh, no, you talked about it. I don't know. Maybe you
I
did
don't
show
think I
it
ever
to me.
saw it. Did I?
We aren't talking about Halloween, but Michael Myers is Halloween, right?
Yeah.
That's what the,
Oh, no, I did see that. Yep. Very fashionable.
the Michael Myers fade.
Yeah.
Fuck boy Michael Myers.
It's Michael Myers for the 2021 reboot, unlike the 2003 reboot.
True.
When was the Halloween? Because that was Rob Zombie did the Halloween reboot, right? Because for a while I thought he did the Texas Chainsaw one too, but he didn't. No.
I don't remember who did the Texas Chainsaw one. It wasn't really.
Yeah, it wasn't. When I looked it up, then the director, I didn't recognize the name off the top of my head.
No.
So I was like, oh, it's not Rob Zombie. Okay, yada, yada, yada.
Toby Hooper did the original one.
See, the 2003 one was directed by, let's see, Marcus Nispel. Nispel? Yeah.
Nipples.
Nipples.
Marcus Nipples.
Oh, he did the Friday the 13th remake.
Oh,
Yeah, the 2009 one.
That's the one with the guy from Watchmen.
that's the one with Jason.
Yes, it is the one with Jason.
Stop.
Jason wasn't in The Watchmen.
Oh.
Oh, you're right.
Dude, I don't know what's going on right now. We bring in Shane, and all the energy is just different. Gosh. We all
Throwing a curveball for
throwing
you.
a curveball.
Oh, well, I didn't realize that Friday the 13th has Jonah from Superstore.
I haven't seen Superstore, so
You're missing out, man.
that's what I've
You can
heard.
binge the whole series because it's done.
See, I'm afraid of
Don't
binging
tempt
whole
me.
series, like from beginning to end, because I know. I
Actually,
usually
that one break up because you'll enjoy it a little bit more.
Oh, well, fine.
If I'm being honest.
But yeah, today we're talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We're starting off our spooky series here. Oh, chainsaw.
So spooky.
Okay. But yeah, so it had been a long time since I watched either of these films, and it was your first time watching them, right?
Yeah, watching both of them.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We all seen the old. We're mostly talking about the 1974 and the 2003 versions. So like the original story and the remake of it. And yeah, it's. I remember I've watched both of these at least one time before, but there's only like certain key scenes that I remembered, because the 1974 one was such like an iconic film. Like it did a lot of the like tropes for horror. Yet I didn't notice any of the old tripping on nothing in the 1974
Right, she was really good
version.
at running away. She's very efficient.
Yeah, because that was the whole one of the tropes is all, oh, the person running away from the killer tripping on nothing.
Like she freaking jumped out of a second-story window and kept going.
Oh,
Like,
your T-shirt.
oh yeah.
Wardrobe change.
Forgot that you had the T-shirt.
Dude,
It's
that's
a salad
Forgot
days.
to, obviously. I'm back.
Gosh, now that I've seen it, see whoever, even grandma's on it.
It's the family. Yeah, you got Grandpa, you got the brother, you got Leatherface, you got the pops. Salad days, man.
That is a big difference between the original one and the new one, is the family and
Yeah,
the whole
the-
dynamic and everything.
That and just the story in general.
Yeah,
Dude.
I was actually surprised how much of a difference is that the liberties they took with the story in the 2003 one. Because it felt pretty natural, especially around that time. A lot of movies were doing stuff like that, like just the more creepy style horror. Because the 74 one, wouldn't say it's really funny now anymore.
It's funny. It's gross. It's kind of grotesque.
It's unnerving.
It's shock value. It's unnerving. It's not really like actually like that scary, especially nowadays. Probably back then it was pretty freaky.
Right.
yeah.
But I mean, one thing I will give it is you're not seeing any other horror movie like it.
Yeah.
Like, it has
Yeah.
its own vibe. You watch that and you're just like, oh yeah, that's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's nothing else, you know.
Freaking creepy as all get out.
Mm-hmm.
Leatherface is an insanely iconic villain. Holy crap.
Yeah, based on Ed Gein.
So yeah, I was reading that he kind of like loosely based it on that, but he wasn't an actual like chainsaw killer or something, or what was it? Or
No, so he was only ever charged with a couple of murders. They think he did more, but he was primarily charged with like grave robbing.
okay, because that was something that wasn't in the 2003 one at all. Was the grave robbing aspect?
Correct, but it was featured in the like intro blip for the first one, the
Yeah.
74 one. But yeah, no, he was mostly known as like a grave robber, but he did murder a couple people for sure. But he made like a vest out of like female genitalia.
Ugh, lovely.
Yeah, he was a fucked up guy, but he was from Wisconsin, not Texas.
Oh, okay.
They took a lot of liberties with that.
Well, it's
They were
just
like,
the
oh,
basis
hey,
for
there's
the
a guy
story.
that like cuts people's skin off, and then they were like, okay, well, we'll put him in a different state. We'll give him a different weapon. We'll make him look different. We'll do. It has like literally nothing to do with it, but they can say that it's based on a true story because their original idea was.
technically, yeah.
But it sounds more like a Florida man than a Texas man to me. I mean,
Yeah, cutting off skin and wearing it.
Florida Chainsaw Massacre.
This doesn't ring as well.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
No.
What?
Getting up on the mic there.
Oh, sorry.
We also went to Wilderness too. Okay.
I know. Yeah.
You did?
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Because I only remember Nick and Shane being there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Pinky
You can
trick.
perform magic.
No,
once you drink.
mine isn't condensating enough. I can't perform magic like all y'all. Nice.
Excuse you.
This is off the rails.
Get a guest here and they fucking burp.
But yeah, so let's.
Fucking guy.
I know the drink is really good. Let's start down with the original one first to talk about. Yeah, so they both start off with pretty similar story beat with the police report and like text crawl.
I will say, the beginning for both of them, I love to make fun of the narrator guy, but especially on the original. There was a house in Texas. And there was 5 teenagers. They got out of a van and they did not return that day. This is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, dude, this sound
Just
effects.
like, oh Christ, did I just
Yeah.
have a seizure? Like,
Yeah,
Yes.
like it holds on black for a while and it just like shoots out like white light and it's like wee, just like high pitch.
there's
for
like
my note for that.
15 pictures of just like a decaying corpse, just like close-ups of the jaw, close-ups of the foot, just random gross.
Oh yeah, like the hands and
Nasty.
stuff, like the
Yeah.
meat, like falling off, so just like to the bone.
Just
creepy,
like a
man.
good cooked rib, meat falling right off the bone.
I did think it was a weird contrast that they had that intro where it's like kind of creepy, and then they had the thing where like they're driving. And it was Franklin that gets out of the car, he's in the wheelchair, and then he like has this whole scene where he rolls down the hill. It's like
He pisses into a peanut can,
Yeah.
and then rolls down the hill.
it's
And
such a weird like opening scene after that.
Yeah.
It's like you're trying to
So
make this creepy, and then
aggressive.
it's like, what am I supposed to feel from this scene? Like I'm sad, but then it's
What am
kind of
I-
funny because I know it's fake. But
what is Franklin supposed to make you feel? Like
I
am
know,
I just
right?
don't-
What
I
is
feel
his
bad
character?
laughing, but at the same time, I kind of don't.
Because I kind of feel like he's put there to make us laugh. at
Yeah, like I
times.
can't tell.
I don't.
Bro, those face cuts.
Bro,
I
the
mean,
face cuts of just his
fucking
reactions.
priceless, dude.
It's just so good.
And the accent and everything too kind of makes it. He's got that southern because the big story in the first one I could not follow why the hell they were even there, what they were doing. They in the beginning
Right.
of the 73 one, it cuts between like 5 or 6 different scenes. There's like a dude laying on the ground just fucking like going off on something, and then they're like checking a grave, but you don't actually see them do it. And then they're driving away to a house, and then all of a sudden they're at the Texas Chainsaw house, and I'm like, how the hell did they get here? I'm like, I'm not stupid. I just can't follow what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, that one happens a lot quicker, and there's a lot. I feel like that's why they took so many liberties with the remake.
Something I
Yeah.
wrote down too is the sequel, the remake, takes 42 minutes before you even see a chainsaw. You see the whole Leatherface and the chainsaw like less than 20 minutes into the original.
Yeah, it kicks off pretty quick.
Yeah, it kicks off much quicker.
Well, the first two deaths are like so early. Like I even paused the movie. I'm like,
yeah, you don't even really see.
Already?
I looked down and looked up and missed the first death in the original. It goes that
like
fast.
He heard it and he was like, "Wait, did I just miss something?" I was like, "Yeah, he just clubbed him after he pig squealed."
I'm like, that was like 2 seconds. I blinked and I missed the first death.
Yeah, if you hear a pig squeal, someone probably died.
Wait.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
The whole dynamic between the two different groups are pretty similar. I mean, you got like the pretty boy, the girl who does it, and then like the kind of stoner kid type person. But in the original, they do not have nearly as much personality because they get offed off so much quicker.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
mostly just the sister.
You get a lot of
Sally's the one
Sally.
you really get any
Sally, and you get a lot of Franklin.
Franklin. Mhm.
Yeah,
And it's
for
like,
better or worse.
Why?
Like, why were those the two?
Why out of? They're sitting there and they're like, "All right, yeah, so we'll off this guy and we'll keep Franklin going because just so much character in that guy."
And then Sally's gonna run through the forest for 25 fucking minutes, back and forth.
Are we going to talk about that already? The scene where she's running for
God.
fucking 20 minutes?
Yeah, so everybody's death is relatively quick,
Except hers.
except
unfortunately.
hers, but she doesn't die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that is something I forgot that
it's-
there's actual survivor from
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah, but it's right after Franklin just gets fucking cut into oblivion.
Out of nowhere, too. They're just kind of walking through the woods, and all of a sudden Leatherface is like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, he's just in the woods, but Homeboy makes it like 3/4 of the way through the movie in a wheelchair. Nobody helps him. He's having the worst day of his fucking life. And he's letting everybody
Sally
know
pushes
it.
him through the wheelchair.
Very,
pushes him through
very
the forest in a wheelchair.
reluctantly.
A little bit and very reluctantly.
That scene of him trying to get into the house is so sad. Where
Isn't
he's
it,
just like,
he's just like,
guys.
If I was having any more fun, you're just like, oh man, like shit.
Well, then he's like. He's doing that constantly in the house
Yeah.
too. It's like he did so much. I was like, this is so weird.
I've been in a wheelchair. I know how it feels. But
Yeah.
I wasn't dragged out there in a wheelchair.
That's good.
Should have been.
Yikes.
Whoa! Clubbed in the head.
But yeah, the basis of like the story for both movies is that they are driving through Texas and they pick up a hitchhiker that they find. And the hitchhikers are two very different characters. Oh
Yeah.
my
Oh, yeah.
goodness.
Oh, yeah. Night
Yeah.
and day.
Like, literally opposites in every way.
Mm-hmm.
The first one in the 74 version is a guy who's just...
He's Leatherface's brother.
Yeah, he's Leatherface's brother. I didn't know that at the time, like first
Right.
watching it, and the audience doesn't know it, but he is just a weird individual. That whole scene...
Spoilers for the 1974 classic, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
You know that
Almost
by...
50 years.
Yeah, God, it is. Yeah, it's coming up.
It's getting there.
Hey, people still yell at me when I say Dumbledore's dead.
That's the classic. No, Snape killed Dumbledore is the
Yeah,
spoiler.
Snape, well, that too.
That's the thing.
That too.
That was the whole... Yeah.
Spittoon.
Spittoon.
Don't you ever.
But yeah. One of my favorite quotes from it is when... So they pick up this crazy hitchhiker who's just like doing this weird ass shit, asking for a knife, and cuts himself, takes a photo, and it's like, oh yeah, $2 for that photo.
It's a good picture.
It's a good picture. It's like, yeah, man, you don't even really get to see the photo.
No.
They don't ever really show it, that one, because they showed the two that he first brought out, but they never showed that third one that he took there.
And can we talk about what happens right before they pick up the hitchhiker? When Franklin is just going off about the slaughterhouse.
Oh.
Homeboy is talking about that slaughterhouse for a good 5 minutes. He's like, yeah, they got the gun. It goes through the head.
Oh, yeah. The whole...
He's like just going into detail.
so
He's just
excited
fucking
about it.
loving it. He's excited about it. He's pumped, bro.
Yeah,
like,
you used to do a whole sledgehammer, but that would take like 1 to 2 hits to kill them, and like it
it's
wasn't
way
the most
more
efficient.
Yeah.
And like now they got this air gun that just comes up, comes right back in.
Then he finds out that the guy that's like coming from the slaughterhouse, he's like, oh yeah, you used one of those guns. He's like, Franklin, come on, man. What
Any
the
other
fuck,
topic,
dude?
like literally anything else.
Like,
Obsessive about the guns.
Right?
yeah. Oh. Homeboy looks like James Franco. That is one of my notes.
yes.
Yeah, he does.
James Franco looking ass
Yeah, the
mother.
hitchhiker, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, head cheese?
God,
You ever
the
had good head cheese?
Oh,
His brother makes real good head cheese.
His brother makes the best head cheese. You ever? We were just in Wisconsin. We didn't have any head cheese.
Good.
because what you do, you put it, you boil it down, and then you scrape all. It's like, all right, shut up.
Yeah, they boil the skull of the
The corpse
Of the coals?
The cow.
cow.
The cow. The
Lincoln?
skull of the cow. They boil it down and make cheese out of it.
It's like
Nothing goes to waste.
it's like no, I want to hear this.
And then one of my favorite quotes: Franklin was never little.
Oh, how'd Franklin get down here when he was little? Franklin was never little. It's like,
Fucked up thing to
Fucking roasted.
They're so mean to him.
for like
So
really
mean to him.
That's one of the things that the 74 version, you really don't get a lot of context for stuff.
No.
It just kind of just drops you in. That's kind of difference in filmmaking. It's a lot more quiet shots. They're establishing kind of just all this stuff. There's a lot less like dialogue through narrative story stuff. And it's a lot more just like tone setting and.
So you see a chainsaw earlier, but I think that you see a chainsaw less
In which one?
in the original.
The original? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they use more brute weapons, like how he kills the first two people
the
with
hammer.
a hammer.
Yeah.
They're beating Sally with a fucking what did we say? Rebar?
Yeah,
Like a
what the heck was
broomstick
that?
Or some shit. Well, it was a broom for sure, a
Yeah.
broom, and then we think like some rebar.
The only person who dies with a chainsaw is Franklin.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Only
out in the
person in the
forest.
movie who died. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
He decapitated the dude he already hit on the head, but he already killed him,
Yeah.
and then he cut his head off with a chainsaw. But there's still, like you said, there's only actually like one death.
chainsaw murder.
Yep.
Oh, the sequel has like I think at least 2 that died to the actual chainsaw because
so.
there's that
And
the
Pepper does.
Pepper, the
yeah.
girlfriend, and then which is such a fucked up scene. Holy shit. We'll get to that. That's something. The first one is an iconic film, like talking between the difference between them, but I kind of like the second one's through line story a bit more. I guess we'll get into that now. Is watching them both back to back like I did today.
Yeah.
The 74 version definitely like is a different film than the 2003 version, but I think even though the 2003 version is creepier, I like it better, and I think I'd rather rewatch the remake than the original
Yeah. Likewise.
because it's just more of a through story.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I agree.
But God, there's a lot of like similar things up until about like the halfway point from the film is when it kind of changes. Something I noticed when I talked to Katie about it when we were watching the remake is the like inspiration for like I feel like it's very Resident Evil 7 got
Yeah, isn't it,
inspired
though?
by this like
Thank you for bringing that up. That's
100%.
literally what I was thinking.
It's like dinner with
so
the
much of it.
family and all that stuff. That scene in the first one when she tied down, it's just like, oh, there's the dinner scene.
Yeah, that's heavily based upon that.
Yeah.
But I definitely I get what you're saying. I like that vibe, and I choose to watch that one more so than the original. The original is just kind of good for a couple laughs, honestly. At this point, It is kind of creepy, and it is the original, but at the same time, dude, when you have some of the scenes that one has, like, it's hard not to kind of like chuckle a little bit. Like,
It's honestly the first
Yeah.
one's more funny than anything else.
yeah, absolutely. The 2003 remake has that vibe of, like you said, Resident Evil 7, where you're just like, oh shit, like this is actually kind of like creepy, like fuck.
It's like I am in a backwater town. This is more setting,
Yeah,
like establishing, because like the house in the original didn't look too bad. It looked like just a regular white little
Yeah.
house. Is when they had to like dig around to find like all the weird stuff. They
Yeah.
were walked up to it. They didn't think it was creepy. They went inside. Like they added more characters in the remake. Like they changed the whole clerk cook guy to freaking one of my favorite like iconic terrible actors. Who plays the dad.
Oh yeah.
God,
I have his fucking name.
Full Metal Jacket. I don't
Oh,
remember his
yeah.
name.
Arlie Ermy.
Who's such an icon. That was one of the main first roles I saw. Was the remake?
My note is Arlie Ermy is a goddamn legend.
I know,
Perfect sheriff.
right? Holy crap!
Perfect sheriff. And especially when he fucking like he
He
gets the gun and he smells the gun after it comes out of her pussy, and he's just like,
God.
and he just like
I
kinda,
thought
like,
I thought
says a
that
little
too, and I'm
remark,
like,
and I'm just like, he's the only guy I could ever see in this role that just like could say that fucking shit
Well, yeah,
and
like
get away
sell
with
it, yeah.
like and sell it, yeah.
Was he in any of the other major horror films around that time period? Because I feel like I've watched a few with him in it, like any of the Rob Zombie produced ones.
That's what I thought too, but that's a different dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. But yeah, no, he's iconic role. But
Route 17 is where the Hewitt residents were located.
Route 17, Texas.
Yeah, Route 17.
Huh. That real life thing, or
no? That's where it says like when they talk about it in the movie. They go, yeah, the Hewitt residents.
Has to be
located off
17.
Route 17. I said, love the intro vibe. Like when they're all just kind of talking, chilling, headed to their Skynyrd concert, smoking their weed.
They're
like,
2 pounds.
Yeah, they're
in the
2
sequel.
pounds.
So much fucking.
Homeboy looks like Nick is one of my notes.
I know. I thought that. I didn't want to. I saw that when I started watching the remake, and I'm like, all right. I'm just not gonna write that down. We're gonna let that pass. And then B said he had it as his notes. So I'm like, oh gosh, damn it.
It's gonna happen.
Yep.
Of course.
But yeah, that bitch puts the J out of the window.
Dude, yeah, he just threw it out.
She goes, yeah, I'll take a hit, and then just like flicks it right
Jessica
out the window.
Biel.
It's like, oh my god,
I know,
Jessica, come on.
You're better than this.
That is something. So the 2 main heroines, because that's probably the only characters that we could like compare and contrast would be like the heroines, the Leatherface, kind of like the dad character, and like the Jedediah type character. There's only like 4 or 5 that are through line because the remake adds so many extra characters that weren't in the original.
I feel like curly hair homeboy is close to. I feel like he's their Franklin.
Yeah.
They just took him out of the wheelchair.
Yeah.
I feel like they
Because he does
they
have the whole
realized
scene
what
with
was
the
going on there.
reenacting the suicide.
Yeah.
That is so. Would you guys like the original Hitchhiker with the crazy dude, or more of like the girl who like does the dark suicide type
Girl.
thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I guess because the girl's not a threat to you,
Yeah.
like the same way the other guy is. Because the other guy like could have easily killed one of them.
Absolutely tried to.
Yeah.
Kind of. That's the thing is the with the original, because it's such a like an indie type low budget film, like it's kind of hard to tell like what they were, the tone for me of what they were trying to do for a lot of the scenes. Like, was that scary? Was that tense? Like he jumped up and killed them, but the music didn't match in my opinion. So I don't know, just me shitting on the original. It's not like it was a bad film. It's just like it's such a product of its time.
Yeah, it is.
For sure.
I mean, it is the film that set the standard for a lot of slasher things. So there was really only like Psycho and a couple other like slasher films before it at the time. So they didn't have the 80s slasher revival of all of those guys.
No.
So it really was groundbreaking on its style of horror.
Yeah, and you don't really, like I said earlier, you don't really see too many movies with this style of horror ever.
Not and like, so looking at the reviews of it, the first one like has like super high score on Rotten Tomatoes and everything. The second one, it gets terrible scores. It got shit on so hardcore by critics.
It's because they changed too much.
I can see that, but like as a non-fan, because like coming into it, watching them both back and forth.
Yeah, I
It's
grew up
interesting.
with both of them.
Yeah.
And I personally like to do the 2003. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, garbage. Texas Chainsaw Massacre New Beginnings, garbage. Texas Chainsaw 3D, garbage. Texas Chainsaw The Beginning, garbage.
Texas Chainsaw in Space, garbage.
I
That's the next
wish
one.
there was Texas
Freddy in
Chainsaw
Space, whatever it is.
Soon. It's almost a 50-year anniversary. They can do it.
That's what's next.
Yeah.
We're sending Leatherface.
Leatherface in Space.
Leather space and
Leather Space in Face.
leather space in
Leather
your
spray.
face.
Have
The
had a bit
spaces.
too much drinks today.
Leather space in your face, breaking that personal bubble. You know he's gonna fuddle.
Bars.
He wants a cuddle.
Bars.
Bars. Hard bars.
Oh my god.
Almost
I
spilled my
forgot
drink.
what line the guy said. I'm way too stoned for this. What was that? Was that the girl?
Ooh, was
before
that
she
really?
shot herself? Because
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
I'm way too stoned for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was before.
Yeah.
Yeah, she starts talking about how everybody's dead. She goes, they're all dead. And he goes, I am way too high for this. I relate.
Yeah,
Oh my
that
God.
also this it added a lot of like some of the cliches, like the whole gas station cliche, like pulling up to somewhere, like even Cabin in the Woods riffed on that,
Yeah.
pulling up to a gas station that's all creepy. They really amped that up with the remake with the whole like gross beef,
Oh,
but
yeah. Ugh.
they didn't even like talk
Flies
about
all
the
over.
meat factory until like the tail end of the.
That was just part of the chase
It
sequence.
was just
with,
like a yeah,
Well,
because
yeah.
like she runs up to it and she goes like "Fuck!" And this is the Blair Meat Company, and I'm like, was this brought up earlier in the
I
film or
know.
something?
Well,
I'm like,
you
I feel
don't
like
have a character to explain it for 5 minutes. How the fuck are you
I was
supposed
about
to
to say,
know
there's
about
no
it?
Franklin
Okay.
talking about the meat thing.
I
so
know they
it's
got to
like-
talk about the gun and the hammer and the fucking.
That was because I watched the remake first before the original. I guess that would have been like a callback for the people. It's like, ooh, it's the meat thing. It's like, oh, the
slaughterhouse.
slaughterhouse. They finally found it like 2/3 of the way into the film or something like
You
that.
know the trick, and you're just refusing to do it.
I'm not refusing. I'm
You are
forgetting.
refusing.
He's
right?
forgetting. He's reaching
Then
back
okay.
for his drink.
Okay, I'll give you that.
But yeah, something I mentioned is so they pick up this in the remake. They pick up this girl who's just super like zoned out, talking about like how terrible the people are, and then she opens up her legs, pulls out a gun, which freaking terrifying. You see
Everything
blood
about that
all
scene
in the
just-
leg. It's just like
no.
no. Kills herself, and then they don't talk a single thing about anything she said. They don't go like you think. So crazy person's like, oh, he's the worst. Never go back. All this, and she kills herself. And like, oh, let's go find some people around here. It's like they don't think. Oh yeah, she was just talking about like how terrible people are around here and how
Just saying, like,
everything.
don't go
They don't
here,
mention
stop.
any of that.
Right.
It's like that's the wrong way. It's like, oh, why was she saying that?
Go your own way.
It's the whole like stupid teen cliche, you know.
Right, just completely forget what just happened. Let's go to this gas station.
And the remake does have a couple of the animal freakouts. No, not freakouts, fake outs. Where it's like they open something and it's like the pig or something there instead. Yeah. What's up?
In the original, there's a scene where a girl pops out of an ice chest, and
Oh, yeah.
and Shane said, "Is she a zombie or what?" And I was like, that's a good fucking question, man. I don't know.
Funny enough, I was reading through on Wikipedia on their story summary. And I
Yeah.
just did a quick like reread to make sure I got everything. And on that part, it says that they find a still alive her in the. So apparently she was still alive. That's why she like came out of the freezer.
Right.
She wasn't a
Oh,
zombie.
okay.
At least that's what Wikipedia
I mean,
said.
obviously,
wigs
she
out
wasn't
and
a
jumps
zombie,
up.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I was just kind of like curious. I was like, "Fuck this!" So he doesn't just puts him in an ice chest, like.
Right.
We got to keep the flesh nice and not from decomposing, so you can cut it off and wear a face.
Right. Yeah. Don't you know
Or
rich
make a
faces?
headlamp. That was
Oh, the headlamp.
or
How did it
face
glow?
chandelier.
Yeah, how did it glow? You can't.
LEDs.
LEDs.
You're talking like 1,000 watts, like something absurd, like
Yeah, bro, Bone can dig it.
You
74, bro.
Shrunken heads. They're decorations in places.
They don't fucking glow.
They can.
LEDs.
LEDs. I say again, LEDs.
Light emitting
Just get some Govies. Stick them bitches on there. Light it up.
Oh yeah. There were a couple moments in the remake that I put where the subvert expectations, because I wrote the note and then it changed. Like the first one I wrote was like never put your hand in a dark hole.
Oh, right.
Because in the remake there's the whole like trunk scene
Yep.
where he's like, ah,
Oh,
I
and
put a
then-
hand,
and he
then he
tricks him.
freaks it out. So I was like, oh well, subvert expectation. I guess never mind. He was just joking.
Yeah.
Then the other one was, shoot him, you dumb shit. That's what I wrote because it was the whole he was reconnecting. Basically, the guy from Full Metal Jacket was all like, "going, yeah, she's sitting in the middle. You know, trying to have him like recreate the suicide and all that." I'm like, he's got the gun, shoot him, and then he does the whole like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you," and click, and it's not doesn't have any bullets in it. I'm like, oh, never mind. It's a expectation there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That ends up being a bad choice for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we got a murderer in our midst. It's like, oh, well, multiple murderers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because that ends up being Leatherface's brother.
The Full Metal Jacket
No.
guy, or
No,
Is it the
that's
brother?
No,
No, it's not.
that's his
mind.
dad. Yeah, because
that's
they
his
read
dad.
the whole thing with the
Jedediah.
Jedediah
bad.
was the brother, we think, kind of, because they don't really talk about the full
Yeah.
familial connections.
Well, I
in the
mean,
remake.
when he's your brother, your cousin, and your uncle, I mean,
True,
Yeah, I kind of
yeah.
got confused.
And the whole grandma with the old lady from the beginning at the gas station.
Or Grandpa in the original with the.
God, so the grandpa in the original sucking on.
So what is he, like a
finger.
vampire? Like what the fuck?
Yeah, dude, that's how he lives eternally.
He's the
It's
best
unicorn blood.
at killing.
Oh, he is the best at
best.
killing. Let's have grandpa do. He's the best. Drop the hammer. It's like
He's grabbing his hand.
It'll
and
be
beating
painless.
it with Grandpa's
They're so
hand.
dedicated to it. They're like, we're gonna make this work.
such
Come
a
on,
long
Grandpa.
scene.
You
got this, Grandpa.
Come on, Grandpa.
It's like, oh gosh.
Throw the hammer, Grandpa.
Drop.
You got this. Smack her.
He hits her one time.
Hits her one
Yeah,
time.
one-
She gets
one
up
good
and
hit.
runs away.
I know, right? It's so
Jumps
good.
out of a fucking window. Yeets out.
Yeah.
And then that is one difference between the original and the remake too. Is in the original, the chainsaw falls on his leg and he gets a little nick on his leg.
Yeah.
In the remake, he gets his whole ass arm cut off.
I know, right? Holy crap.
Well, because then it did it both. He hurt himself a little bit, then he continued chasing her, then he like lost his arm.
Yeah.
Well, he gets his arm chopped off by what's the girl? Erin is the name of the main character in the sequel.
Yeah, she jumps
So,
out of that locker and just
freaking like a meat cleaver and just
straight
Fucking
through.
goes to town.
Yeah, you
He
gotta
uses
be-
the pig as bait to like make him look away. That's pretty smart though. I like it.
But then it still doesn't stop him. He just grabs his arm with the chainsaw attached to it and just starts
I know, right?
swinging it around.
So also, because like when she's running through like up through there, because she finds it and she's kind of going through like it's like a narrow passage, goes by some of the cows and stuff, and then she goes to like go under like one of like the doors that close like horizontally, and then suddenly he's just there. So it's like he just teleported because like you didn't hear him running up, you didn't hear the chainsaw, you saw like shots of her like behind her, like he wasn't there. Where the fuck did he come from?
The teleporting.
No.
His chainsaw is a portal gun.
That's actually correct. You got me.
I thought that's just happened when you had incest. I think you got like magical
You
powers.
teleport
Just be
around.
wherever you want to be at any given time.
It's really just a sequel to The Hills Have Eyes. He's actually a product of radiation.
Oh,
Oh.
that'll do it.
He's got superpowers. But yeah. I smell bullshit. Yeah, there's so many good lines
Dude,
throughout
yeah,
them
these movies are so fun.
with all the different quotes.
For as thick as Leatherface is, he is fast as fuck.
Yeah,
Right.
so that is the
Holy
difference
crap.
between
The
the
track
original
star.
and then like all because in the '73 version he is quick and like almost he feels like a bit too fast.
It's like
Yeah.
meth fast.
But
and
he's
he
still,
talks a lot more.
He's still fast in the
Talks.
in the remake because that's literally one of my notes. Is Thomas is a fast boy.
Real fast ball.
Kind of like set the standard for the big hulking, quick, like terrifying
Yeah, just
slasher
somebody fucking
villain.
coming at you. Just,
He's quick in the second one, but he's more strategic and more planned out. He's very quick in the first one, but it's very methy and fucking crazy and maniacal.
But
Incesty, yeah.
you gotta give him some. I like the costumes in the first one for Leatherface a lot
Yeah,
more.
I do
The
too.
suit at the ending is such an iconic.
yeah, the
Baller,
suit
dude.
is sick.
He put on his suit for dinner, bro.
Especially, and he's wearing the face with like the makeup on it too. So you have like the blue and red cheeks.
He kind of looks
and
like
shit.
it's like almost like a grandma like looking thing.
Yeah.
Like that one's probably like my favorite, but then least favorite in terms of like the creepiest. Like I don't like that one.
You like it, but you don't like it.
I like it because it's good. Like I feel like it's the scariest one. Like it kind of like I think the only other one I can compare is like in a remake where where one of the main characters he's wearing his face.
Dude, okay, so I want to talk about that scene there. So that's kind of between both films. The first one's shorter and the deaths are quicker and it's kind of more of like a psychological horror, while the remake is more of a modern horror story. It's had all the different years and all the other different series to kind of set the standard for what horror films do. And like the whole having, because Leatherface in the first one they just kind of had to establish the character, so like he's some creepy dude who wears a face and all that, and now in the remake they've had all the other films and everything else.
That's awful. I
That
hate it so
hair.
much.
They've had him like be able to like switch faces in other films, so they utilize that in the remake, and that's probably my favorite scene was when they're at the van and the Leatherface starts attacking them now because the dad is like, all right, they're all good to go kill them now. And this is after they've killed Kemper or whatever, Kemp, whatever his name is.
Kemper.
Yeah, and they haven't found him yet. And he goes and kills the girl Pepper, turns around and looks at Aaron, the main character, with the face
is his
of
girlfriend.
the boyfriend.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my god, that is like a mic drop scene.
Yeah.
It's like I can't find him. All these crazy people are. Oh, his face is on the killer now. It's just like, oh, such a messed up scene. Probably favorite in the film though.
Right.
She makes eye contact with that and just. Oh.
It's like, oh.
It's like, I don't know. Probably gonna die.
It's kind of hot though. I'm not gonna lie.
Those jeans.
Aaron? Or what are we talking about?
Yeah, just Kabila.
But yeah, no, Aaron.
Just
was
could be
hot, though.
okay. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Those jeans.
I was like, you pulled the mic real close there. But yeah, no, it's the aesthetic is very 70s. That's
Yeah.
they managed to keep that with the remake. They didn't They did have more references like, oh, you like Skinner? I like Skinner too. And they had Sweet Alabama playing. And they kind of had more of nostalgia glasses for the 70s rather than being produced in the 70s. It'd be like a movie today going like, oh, yeah, I'm popping on like, I don't know, Travis Scott or some big artist going on today in the film. Like, we expect it to last like 40 years like
Smoking
Skinner.
my Cactus Farms, my 2 pounds of it with blasting
2
Cactus
pounds
Jack.
of that. Jeez.
It's not 2 pounds.
I am
at
not
all.
a drug runner. That is a sad thing though throughout the relationship between Kemp and Aaron and everything like that. Is like, oh yeah, I'm not a drug runner, and it's like, you're a drug runner, and they just chuck the what was it,
Pinata.
Like
Yeah.
into the fields.
Yep.
Pinata that was not full of 2 pounds. There's no way 2 pounds could have fit into. But
No way.
I mean,
Especially
you'd
their
have to
little, like they had like little sacks like this long.
Yeah, it was so small.
Yeah.
So tiny.
bricked. There'd be a fucking brick hard fucking pinata of weed.
Especially coming from Mexico.
In the 70s.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I thought that I like really hit me kind of hard was when they were talking about the whole like, well, we'll get a ring on it, and then he's dead, and Leatherface
And the
lifts him
rings
upside down. The
falls.
ring falls
It
out of his
falls.
pocket, and it's like, oh, he
Yeah.
had the ring. It's like,
I literally like said out loud, I'm like, oh, he was gonna propose.
oh,
Teardrop shaped ring.
no.
I guess Leatherface could propose. He looks the same.
With his
Ew.
Yeah,
Oh, with his
just-
face.
face.
That was awful. It's the same, right? Right.
She's like, I hate to admit it, but I think it's kind of hot.
Oh.
Only if you wear the face.
Will you wear his dick too?
But you know he could though.
He really could though. That's
You know he could
His
though.
craftsman skill is like 100%.
He's
The
pretty-
remake, you see
pretty
him
good.
pull it off. Got his sewing machine. They had to do time for all. It's
He stuffs
They
like
build
a twig in
him.
there. It makes it hard.
oh.
Anyway.
Foreskin wrapped on a twig.
God. Oh, the something with the sequel that I really like. This is the lighting of and the establishing shots. Some of
Yeah.
them,
Hmm.
like there's one shot of the house where it's backlit and it's got like a blue glow.
It's like
And
kind of blue but yellow at the same
I
time.
was like, that scene came on. I'm like, I want to like screen cap that. That's a beautiful shot. And, like the whole car driving up to the house and everything like that.
That's another one of my notes. Funny enough,
Yeah. But the whole shots and everything, or.
I just put like the house in the field shot,
Mm-hmm.
which is exactly what you're talking about.
And it's kind of funny, like knowing some like movie production stuff. Like there's a scene, or it's not the same one, but it's like you see the car pull up, and there's a big light coming from like right behind the house. And I'm like, if this was Texas in the middle of the night, the moon doesn't light up the the area like this. That's some big old like thing they're using for filming to like cool backlight stuff. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. I was just trying to find like
make it eerie.
yeah. It's kind of cool though, but that is something. So they both have running through the woods scenes. The first one is 60 times longer than it needed to be, and was as dark as the Game of Thrones finale, fighting all that. But so in the remake, it is kind of like I was just bitching about like fake lights and everything, but it does help for the viewers actually being able to see what the hell's going on and
Yeah.
running through the woods and stuff. Because man,
Like the first one, it was just like, hey, follow this girl while she runs around in the woods in the dark.
Got it.
It's
I know, yeah,
I got it.
As a swing, he keep on
One take.
running into twigs and like cut twigs with the
Right.
chainsaw. It's like, You could also have a machete and do the same thing. It's like,
Yeah,
not the scariest.
Texas Sledgehammer Massacre. He just kept fucking hitting people.
well,
with
yeah,
hammers.
he's got more sledgehammer
Right?
kills
He's
than
like,
chainsaw
hi, I'm
kills.
Leatherface. Bonk. Bonk.
Well, yeah, as I said, the first death happened so fast, I blinked and missed it. Like, it literally just a bonk, drag,
Right.
the end.
Shut. Well, actually, no, he doesn't shut it yet until this, after seeing it.
Yeah, that is a cool thing that they did keep for the remake with the whole sliding door and Leatherface just being right there. It was like, hello, I'm in the film now.
Yeah, the sliding door was sick.
Yeah, that was good.
With the new characters added in the remake, there's the paraplegic dude, the evil paraplegic, like the guy with his legs cut off, the owner of the house.
Yeah.
His character is creepy as all fucking get. I was like, hey, get him! And he's like, boom, 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 to all call Leatherface. It's like, yeah. And then there's the pop, which is I guess yeah, he was a mix between like the gas station attendant character, who was I guess the father in the original, and then the hillbilly, the two girls in the trailer,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
The ones with the baby.
the one with the baby, and then the one with the.
This is not your baby. This is my baby.
And it's like, oh, it was funny. We were watching it, and she took a sip of the tea, and Katie's like, "That's drugged," and I'm like, "I'm pretty sure you're right." I'm like, if I remember anything about how this movie operates, I'm pretty sure you're right. Sure, these people are not okay. But both films do it to where there's a moment where Leatherface is chasing the main character, and then they just kind of like round the corner and go inside, and Leatherface isn't there.
And they just trust the first person they see.
Yeah, as well as
Right.
the first, there's the gas station attendant in the original one. She gets in, runs in, it's like, oh, help me out. And then in the remake, they're running, and gosh, what is the character? It's a different character. I'm trying to remember. They're being chased, and they run inside.
Well, she runs inside the trailer to the mom. and
Yeah,
the
runs
mom-
inside the trailer to the mom. That's what made me think of it. And it's like, wasn't Leatherface like right behind you? Shouldn't it be like?
Oh, he
Can
won't
I be
hurt
him?
you around here.
And it's just
He
like,
knows not to.
better.
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
all right, what's going on around that?
Oh, he's such a sweet boy.
They just used to make fun of him.
Yeah.
That is something they did try to do a little bit of like the background for the character in the remake. He's like, oh, he's just got a skin condition.
Skin condition, yeah.
It's like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
it.
just that, right? Nothing else going on with him.
Yeah, of course.
He says his condition where he takes other people's skin and replaces his own instead. It's just
Collects
slow
limbs
condition.
and this
Was
and
it was
that.
since I just watched them back to back? Which one was it? The where they got all the teeth freaked him out? Was it the remake?
original.
Was the original was the teeth?
The original,
Ooh.
he gives him a gift, and it's a tooth.
Oh yeah, he's like.
Oh.
on
I got a gift
on
for
the
you, and then
stoop,
yeah,
whatever.
and she's sitting on the stoop, and he
And
gives
she's
her
like,
a tooth, and she,
Yeah. Then they find like the braces. Like I don't know whose teeth these are, but I like my teeth in my head.
Oh, that was a remake.
Yeah, that was the remake. That yeah.
Because I think Pepper said that.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they said that, and it's like, well, that was the first thing to kind of tip them off that was a little too crazy. They went into like Jedediah's little shed where he's got all
Jedi.
these weird ass sculptures and stuff like that. If you see that out in the middle of nowhere, it's like, oh, it's a little creepy. You should probably get out of here.
Right, there's
Yeah.
so many red flags where I'm like, you know what? This girl died. We let someone know. We're just gonna go to the concert now.
Yeah,
Like, we're good.
because it's one of those things. Like they get there, their van. So in the remake, their van stops. Like I guess the battery dies or something because they have to like end up jumping it, and then they start driving forward, and all the lug nuts got taken off. I'm assuming by like the dad or someone or
Yeah.
the kid
Oh,
or
yeah.
someone.
Jedediah.
Yeah, 'cause the
Jedediah
tires,
messed
like,
up
flies
all that.
off.
Yeah, to kind of like get rid of their escape route. But you never see that like on screen, so it's like you have to think, oh shit, they did that off screen, you know? Yeah. Got your bubbly?
aha,
Aha.
Your aha, whatever.
uh-huh.
Yeah. Out of all of the characters, like the main characters, do you like Aaron or God? What was the
Sally
one?
in the
Sally?
original.
Sally. Which main character you two like better?
Aaron.
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 Yeah, she. That's what the issue between both films. They have more time in the remake to flesh out
Develop
the
them,
characters,
Yeah.
and I really like her revenge at the end. That is something that you kind of. The first one just kind of ends.
Yeah.
Like, and also, so the climax between both films is, Leatherface is chasing her between different areas. And in the original one, they end up on the road, and she flags down a trucker who gets out, and all of a sudden, I love that he gets out of the car. And then Leatherface rounds the corner, turns around, starts running back into the car. It's like, yeah, that's what you do if you see a guy with a chainsaw.
Get in your car.
And then freaking,
out of there.
what happens to the truck driver? He throws a wrench at them, and then he just like goes off.
Disappears.
You don't see him die. It's like the
No.
movie's like, all right, I'm done with that character. Push him to the side.
Yeah.
Bring in this new truck now that come here.
I want a sequel to that. No follow up.
The truck driver versus Leatherface. Yeah, because think about it, they drive away in the truck at the end of the first one. That truck, the small truck, not the 18-wheeler.
Yeah.
The 18-wheeler and the driver, in theory, should be right there with Leatherface swinging his chainsaw around in anger. So it's kind of unresolved end there.
True.
Yeah, but then Aaron
Erin
in the remake,
the
triple
remake.
taps.
Oh, I was like 1, 2, 3, kill him.
It's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it's kind of funny. I remembered a couple key scenes from the remake. Like in my brain, I was thinking, oh yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's the one where she's in the wall while he's trying to find her, and she hits him with the car. Like that's what the two big things I remember. And freaking, oh yeah, it was the curly hair dude who died in the dick. He gets chainsawed in half from the ground, from the dick up. Oh,
Yeah. Pretty bad.
because he was still handcuffed. Oh yeah.
What's that one clown movie? That horror clown movie where they do the same thing? They cut the dude from with a saw upwards.
Ooh.
Figured of all
Horror
people do that.
clown film.
Yeah, it's like really, really gruesome.
Saw or some shit.
No. I thought you might know.
31.
31.
Find out.
No. One.
Young Jamie, please. Yeah, I got you.
Jamie. Yeah. But something that they added in the remake was the police footage at the beginning and end of the film too, because they had the narration and then they had some police footage at the beginning, and then they add on to it at the end. In the beginning, they talk about like, oh yeah, look at all these nails embedded in here,
Oh, and then,
and then when the pretty boy. I wrote Pretty Boy as the name for the character Andy, the guy who scratches the wall. They have it all slow down and like zoom in on it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's like, like I shouldn't force feed that because I saw the beginning of the movie.
I saw the beginning of the movie. I didn't need a slow down couple frames on the nails. Like I can get context.
Yeah, that scene could have had so much more to it going forward if it didn't like do it the way they did it.
And it's just nitpicky at that point.
Yeah.
So how does the basement in the remake never flood? Why is it perpetually flooding and leaking, but it's only 2 inches of water at any given time? It somehow drains somewhere else, but it constantly
Just
fucking
enough at that
leaking.
level.
Yeah, there's the input and the output are perfectly
Might be in
matched.
Chicago.
Just below the water level.
The draining system there sucks.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
But then
Even
what-
that's called Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah,
Yeah,
How
the
about-
Chicago Chainsaw Massacre.
It's the same drainage system.
No, that's H.H. Holmes.
The Chicago Sledgehammer Massacre.
Yeah, seriously.
Number 14.
Or war.
There were in Chicago. And there was the Chicago Sledgehammer Massacre.
Definitely sets a vibe from the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple. I just looking at my notes. I occasionally find something that makes me laugh. Because they've like, the sheriff's house in the remake. They're trying to find it. And it's like, the sheriff's house. There's no road that goes there, but it's just a short walk. I wrote short walk. Fuck that noise.
Right.
It's like if everyone's like, oh yeah, no road goes there. I'm like, yeah, neither do I then.
Yeah, if the road goes there, you shouldn't be going there.
But if no road goes there, how'd they get the cars there? I'm like, I'm confused. But it's like, oh wait, everyone here is liars because like, oh, we don't have a phone, and the
Right.
phone's going
I
off,
thought-
and it's
I
like
thought you said you didn't have a phone.
just staring back, like not gonna answer that.
I didn't say I didn't have a phone. I didn't say I had a phone.
Flown,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm all fresh out of phones.
Fresh out of phones.
fresh out of
I
phones.
got plenty of phones.
Phones?
Phones.
Foam?
I got phones, but not phones.
Floam.
This has devolved into just saying words at this point, which is what I guess what a
And then
podcast
burping.
is.
Who needs words?
Do you guys remember Floam?
No.
Who?
Oh, is that the infomercial shit? on
Yes.
commercials.
Yes.
The stuff that I was looking at, like someone's probably gonna eat that and die. Is what I thought by watching.
It was
that
like
stuff.
soft Play-Doh. It's like Play-Doh Foam. Floam.
There were 4 boys. They drank beers and talked about Leatherface.
The sound effect screech. So there was a stock sound in the remake that I heard, and it was just like it's like a meow type of like a screech that's kind of like a horror type thing.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Like they'll use it like for tense moments, like in
Yeah.
like reality TV or
Yeah,
whatever.
like it. I thought of it, and I was like, "That's a Kitchen Nightmares sound."
Yep, exactly. I heard that too. I'm like,
Oh my God,
I
your
knew it. It's
kitchen
there.
has smears.
What the fuck is this boiled head cheese? What the fuck? But that was when
Or
she
he
was
walks
doing
in, he's like, finding some fucking delicious food.
finally some fucking delicious food. They're just doing the whole locker hiding. I'm like, oh, it's Alien Isolation. Hide in the locker.
Right? I was thinking that. Too. Oh, and all the hook
Outlast.
usage, all the
Out-
hooks. I was thinking Dead by Daylight.
Dead by
I'm like,
Daylight.
it's
I'm like,
literally Dead by
well,
Daylight.
I mean, what's the chainsaw character in Dead? Is that the hillbilly? Is the name
There's
of the
two
chainsaw
I think it's
character?
2. Yeah, there's Billy, and then I thought it had that and Leatherface.
He might have been in it first.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think Billy was in there first. I think.
It's like, oh yeah, the whole meat hooks for the demon god.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's Dead by Daylight, the movie
Right.
before it was released.
That's all I could think. I was like, I get it. And then when I saw Lockers 2, I'm like, it's literally Dead by Daylight.
That's pretty funny. Well, so in the remake, there was a couple of CGI shots in the remake that like were a little weird. When the dad pulls out his teeth, I could
Oh,
tell by
yeah.
looking at it that and he's got a fucking sledgehammer as his weapon, which is what I thought too. The
Yeah.
hillbillies just basically Leatherface before they got the rights to actually use Leatherface. But I forgot what I was just talking about.
Oh shit.
Rest in peace.
No.
Them
Oh,
up.
it's CGI.
Oh yeah, so he pulls out his teeth and like you can tell like the CGI on the teeth was a little weird. And then I don't know if I said, "Oh, that's a weird CGI baby," and Katie's like, "That's not a CGI
See, I
baby."
didn't-
At the end,
I didn't
because she
think that.
kidnaps the kid at the end, and like she's looking at it, and I was like, "That just something about that shot just didn't look right." I thought it was like, "That's CGI baby or real?" I don't know.
I almost wonder if maybe they like
Real Leatherface,
imposed,
baby.
like imposed it after the fact, so maybe it wasn't like part of the same scenes. Maybe.
I don't know.
I get what you mean. Like it did look different, but I didn't think it was CGI. But
Yeah.
like at least I think comparably between those two scenes, like I feel like with him it was more noticeably that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's something in the remake that they never really talk about is the girl, the hitchhiker they pick up. They barely mention her because I mean, like,
Yeah.
they kill the once she's dead and like they take her away, just out of the story. They don't mention her at all anymore.
'Cause I think only because like she's in the picture. I think that was the only thing
Yeah,
you get from
it's
her.
like she's in the picture,
her.
but it's like you don't like. They don't talk about like who she was or like how she got away or anything like that. So I just expect like, oh, when she got away, I thought I wouldn't find anyone. You know, like I guess it's just me more trying to think of like more storylines for the character dialogue instead of just like the creepy ass shit that they say.
Yeah, this makes it more like purposeful because then you understand like when you see all those like pictures, it makes it more obvious like that's what it is before you get every single little detail.
It's like that she's part of
Yeah.
this
All
community.
right. Well, you know what, guys? You can't put an hour's worth of Quidditch rules in a fucking Harry Potter movie. So sometimes the
bringing
movies.
up a previous conversation, all right? Talking about Harry Potter earlier.
Quidditch.
Quidditch.
Random. Yeah. So between both films, I probably do like the remake better out of all of them fighting it. And the stuff I like from the first though definitely would be the they're almost different films. Like trying to compare them because the first one's just way more different tone. Like I couldn't take it seriously. Like
And I think they were creepy for different reasons. It was more ominous and kind of like the unknown.
I wasn't
in the
really
original.
scared of the first one, but like Cards on the Table, I'm not a fan of like grotesque horror like this, like Saw and Texas Chainsaw. Like me watching the remake, it was a lot of like
Squeamy.
I'm not like screamy. It's just like it's kind of gross. Katie was sitting there like eating chips, and I'm just like I can't eat
Don't know,
right
that's me. I'm
now. I'm just
desensitized. I'm like, oh, his head's gone. Oh, he's cut in half.
I used to I watched all those Rob Zombie films. I watched just like in my middle age here. I'm just like, yeah, fuck it. I'm just not. Nah.
All those movies with Christian. I mean,
Well, I watched them all like back to back. So they all blended together. I knew I've seen the original one in that time frame, but I watched it with like the original Halloween and the Friday the 13th, like all of those films. So I'm like, it's somewhere mixed in all the killers and all the blood.
Well, that's why it's weird. Every time I watch the original, it's like it's the first time again because I never remember it.
It's
the weirdest
out there. Shot weird, it's directed weird, but it holds itself up. Oh God, what do you have?
The film which you are about to see is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of 5 youths, in particular, Sally Hardesty and her invalid brother Franklin.
So hold on, invalid brother?
Yeah.
And just because he's a paraplegic doesn't mean he's human?
Yeah, goddamn cripple.
Okay.
Finish it. Come
Yeah, I was
on.
gonna say you're
We're
halfway
waiting.
through. You gotta finish.
But they lived very, very long lives. They could not have expected, nor would they have wished to see as much of the mad and macabre that they did that day. From the idyllic summer afternoon drive became a nightmare. The events of that day were led to the discovery of one of the most bizarre crimes in the annals of American history.
This is.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Did you say that from the annals of American history?
Yeah, I was gonna call him out on that too. The annals.
The annals.
Heard that right.
So that's where she hid the gun.
Perform an animal.
Oh my god.
But yeah. So would you say you've got a shirt obviously for? Would you say this is your like favorite of the horror slasher series? All of them?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Okay.
I like the idea of it, and I like the vibe of it. I like that there's no other film like it. But I think that my ultimate favorite, like, Halloween time movie, Halloween. As far as, like, slasher horror movies go.
The original Halloween.
The original Halloween.
Gay.
Fuck you. Also,
What? Not the Rob Zombie remake?
the Rob Zombie remake was pretty
I don't
good.
know, I'm just giving you shit.
But yeah, I'd say that's probably my favorite, which we'll talk about at a later time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say I like the idea of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it's one of the first horror movies that got me into kind of watching scarier movies.
Nice. You guys have any other final thoughts for the films?
Or you let me talk.
More, I'm going to talk like this.
So we got another hour.
Got another hour. Yeah, we're about an hour in. Time to do another hour of this.
I think
All
that
right.
the movie was all right, but,
Right.
you know, I don't
All right, so
There's nails in the wall. There's jaws on the floor. And dicks dragging around on the ground. This is the Saturday Boys.
I was like, so where are you going with this?
No, I mean I'm good after that.
Yeah, I think that about sums it up. It's a nice Sunday drive that ends terribly. So that's why you party on Saturdays, not Sunday drives.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what happened. They drove to a Skinner concert on a Sunday, and that's what happens when you try and do things
Gotta
on
be the
Sundays.
Saturday boy, not the Sunday lad.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's something. None of the films really say where they're originally from. But I guess in the remake, the original Franklin does have this family cabin, so it's from there somewhere or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something they never. It's like, oh yeah, they don't really need backstory. You're here to see a chainsaw kill people.
Yeah, the only thing is like reading like the synopsis. It's like the family's like tombstones were like desecrated, so then that's why they're supposed to be going out there, but they don't like directly.
They barely
say
say that in the film. I feel like
Yeah.
I blinked and missed some of
Yeah.
that. So,
that,
you know.
for sure.
Less idyllic Saturday afternoon. We drank a couple beverages. Talked about the annals of American history. Wore a couple faces. We are the Saturday Boys.
Yeah, we're not ending it like that.
Why?
Well, because the movie starts like that, but then it ends, with
They didn't properly secure the crime scene.
no, they didn't. They didn't properly secure the. It does end with the narration in the remake. Did the first one end with the narration as well? Or I know the remake does. It's like they didn't properly secure the crime scene. 2 guys lost their lives that
Right.
day.
You just see like
Oh,
vaguely like the one get
yeah.
knocked over like
2 Texas officers lost their lives that day.
This is the only image we have of
And-
Leatherface
Goddamn fucking basement with the 3 inches of water.
right?
in the basement with 3 inches of water. Yep. It's like, oh, it's a little. This is the boiler room. Like the way he said that, it's like, okay. Yeah. I got nothing else to say about these crazy ass films. You guys?
No.
No. All right. Where can we find everybody on social media out here?
Pickle Brandon.
Burgle Brandon.
And everything. I got a band called Ink Critters.
You don't have to do it. No, you can just talk normally. Please don't. For God. I see you smiling over there.
Shane Shell, and I'm also in a band called In Credits.
Possibly. I don't know. I may have seen a couple videos or something.
Yeah, heard a few songs. So I'm a Concise Koala and damn near everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm still Nick Benz 9001.
You're not
Wait.
going to change it.
Nope.
I
Stop
know,
saying
yeah.
you're going to change it.
It'll change
He's
eventually.
committed.
No. See,
Locked in.
once merch is ever created for us or whenever, then that's when it's settled. Because that's the investment. But thanks for everyone and stopping by and listening to us rant drunkily about chainsaws and talking like this for a bit too long.
Thank you for stopping by every Saturday afternoon. 4 Saturday boys lost their lives to hangovers on Sunday.
Nice.
Oh, God.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thank you.
Empty.
Your empty-ass glasses.